Hey guys, I thought I'd make another video just because strategy is kind of my favorite part of the game, and I think that especially before we even have a practice, it's a little bit easier to express some of my ideas having a full map and being able to kind of like draw over it. So this week's map is going to be V. I think this would have been a better week 1 map just because it's probably like the most simple one in my opinion. We have 4 boosts total. We have 2 buttons, very small gates, 4 power-ups. Kind of the basic fundamentals are the most important part here. Getting the power-ups in particular, I think, is really important. One of the things that I've seen people do in some of the pickup games is calling out at what point they have picked up a power-up. So let's say that right away you pick up that main power-up in your base. From that point on, you know exactly that it's going to be spawning at that point in 1 minute. So if it's 59 seconds, you'd call out 59. That means that at 10:59 I picked it up. At 9:59 it's going to be respawning, and then so on and so forth at 9:59, 8:59, and the closer you can get to being accurate each time, the easier you'll have it. So hopefully that makes sense. I explained it in kind of a roundabout way, but one of the ways of achieving kind of a symmetry and affecting the flow of the game as far as what team is going to be pushing harder on offense and defense, I think, is the power-up. So with the first few seconds, I think we can make a pretty interesting like opening move, kind of turning the tide in our favor. So just kind of show what I mean. I have the little Q crew guys up on the map. One person will probably be designated to kind of like before with colors, the button person. It'll transfer, of course, whoever's closest, but one person will kind of be like that position. That person can start off by practicing and clearing the gate open for an attacker. That power up top is probably not going to be gone after as quickly by the other team unless they're also planning on having a very aggressive opening. I highly doubt it, but it's entirely possible, so they might be contending up there. That person will most likely be attacker 1, because we know that if we're going to send them up into that top V compartment, that we don't want to waste their time having them come back around through the gate. They might get popped. They might not be in time or have to go up near that top spike near up here. So that they'll definitely go for an attack. Another person will be able to grab our base power up, boost down into the base, and depending on what power up they have, they can go ahead and take an attack at the flag. So that would probably be a person, an attacker 2. Then we have the third person, who's going to default probably into defense, or whoever's assigned to D2 if we do that again. They'll have access to the bottom power up, and depending on what happens, one of these 3 people, and in this case it was who we designated D2, is going to be taking either a wild shot at the flag and popping back in base to support the primary offensive person, or maybe they have a tag pro and they're feeling like they want to have a strong defense to start off with. They can go ahead and backtrack back to the base with it. Probably wouldn't be as helpful with a rolling bomb. Whoever gets a rolling bomb should definitely go take a grab at the flag. As far as positioning for defense, one person up here clearing the boosts I find to be really effective, because that's how most people are going to want to get to the flag. Keeping that in mind as well, just because we have cleared them, they spawn every 10 seconds, so they're still going to get plenty of chances. We need someone in the back to be able to get them once they kind of bounce off the wall, and be able to zone them out, and then it'll give a chance for the other defender to kind of move up and be able to help them and pincher them in. Putting them in the back like this will also give them more access to the power-up in base when it respawns. For offense, obviously we're hoping that with the power up we've made some sort of action, but if not, and we have to kind of regroup, uh, there's a few things that attackers can do to try to like help each other. One is some button play, either in hopes that they can make it through the gate and kind of like dodge people, or honestly just as a distraction. It's kind of like waving the flag in front of the bull. If you start hitting that button, one of the defenders that you're is guarding the flag might kind of move away and try to trick you and push you what you're doing. So even just touching it and then moving down back to the boost could get them out of position. Another one of the attackers would want to be trying to steal this power up over here. Obviously there's free movement. We don't want them any one particular spot. But over there by the power-up is always good, especially if we start getting good about calling out when those are being picked up. We can assume this one initially will be right near the minute mark. So some other things I just wanted to kind of draw over here. When we have, actually let me see if I can get this back up. When we have this guy over here, he can come over and just kind of idle right about here, causing the defenders to guard really tight in on the flag, giving attacker number 2 or 1 or whoever it is a really good opportunity with the boost to be able to bounce off them and then make a straight beeline back down. I've come to find that when an attacker goes down, they have obviously a faster access to the flag through the boost here. So this guy kind of luring the defenders into a weaker position, really close to the flag, will make these boosts more effective. If you do need to come up after a grab, one opportunity for some button work over here, you can kind of dodge in and out. To me, this is really risky, and I guess if we have people that are really good at it, then we can go ahead and try it. But to me, it always just ends in tears. So I like to just either come down here and then bounce off one of these squares and go back up, or really just hit on the brakes here and try to worm my way up that way, get the quickest access. Another opportunity for button work here is for this defender to listen. Hopefully the person who's carrying the flag is able to call out that they're coming up top, or someone's able to call out that they're coming up top, and they'll be able to clear this path for them. This I don't think is a make or break of the game. I think that the attacker 1 being able to give him access up here as a defender is more important if they take it up this way. Alternatively, we can call out to one of the attackers to try to head him off at the pass here, and then ideally make his way down here and guard here as a choke point to avoid any kind of gate opening by the attackers. But just being able to put some pressure on them from both angles will make sure that there's no chance of them escaping. So that's pretty much all my thoughts here. I guess one other thing is when I have the flag and the flag isn't at base, I like to use these spikes up here to just kind of like do a square around. That'll kind of trip people up. And the same thing with these spikes down here is I'll come up and I'll chill out right about here until the defenders start swarming in. With one defender, you can just play Ring Around the Rosie forever, and they'll never be able to catch you. When the second person comes in, I usually try to make a line up here so that I can either bounce into some of these crevices to do a juke, or possibly grab the power up if it happens to spawn, and kind of giving me some room to be able to work my way in. Try to stay away from the boosts over here, because people are going to be coming in from the base and using those to get you. Very rarely will they come right. Let me clear this off. If I'm right here, very rarely do they have the presence of mind to try to boost in like that. Sometimes they do, but I found that this is a good idling spot for if I'm waiting for my team to get the flag back into this position. As always, attackers, if you hear your defenders calling out that they've escaped the flag and they're coming up through top, we know where to go there. Another place we can head them off at the pass is right here. So this guy can move into position here, or this guy. Another kind of choke point right here. There's lots of juking potential over here with all these corners, so make sure to not overcommit and just kind of trust your partner. Have one person stay back and one person being a bit more aggressive, and we shouldn't have any problem. Hopefully this is a good way for everyone else to kind of like see some general thoughts, and I'm not sure if you guys have access to screen capture software like that, or if we just should jump into game and it's easier that way. But thanks for listening. Hope it helps, and I'll talk to you guys soon.